December 26, 2023. The Ariake Arena in Tokyo didn't just host a boxing match that night. It witnessed history being written with every ounce of blood, sweat, and fury inside those ropes. On one side stood a man who had already left an entire weight class in ruins. On the other, a warrior who had dismantled champions and silenced doubters. This wasn't a fight for belts. This wasn't about rankings. This was a collision between destiny and defiance. Naoya Inoue didn't walk into that arena as just another fighter. He entered as a storm, undeniable, unrelenting, and on the verge of something never before seen in the lower divisions of boxing. Fresh off the destruction of Stephen Fulton, a man many believed was too big and too slick for him, Inoue had already claimed half of the super bantamweight crown. But to truly rule, he needed more than dominance. He needed all 4 belts. And that meant facing the one man who stood in his way, Marlon Tapales, the unified champion from the Philippines, a southpaw with thunder in his fists and no fear in his heart. Tapales wasn't some placeholder. He was no paper champ. He had earned his spot by tearing through Murajan Akhmadaliyev, a previously undefeated unified champion in his prime. That win earned Tapales the nickname The Nightmare. And if there was ever a man unbothered by hype or headlines, it was him. He had come to Tokyo not for the lights, not for the money, but for legacy. He wanted to derail the monster in his own backyard. But Naoya Inoue wasn't looking to just win. He was looking to destroy. And he wasn't doing it for validation. He was doing it because he knew what he was. Not just a champion. Not just elite. Something more. Something historic. Something rare. From the moment the bell rang, the electricity in the air was unmistakable. Tokyo doesn't scream. Its silence is deafening. But that night, the crowd was alive with tension, each person on the edge of their seat as the 2 champions clashed. Tapales came out like a man who understood the assignment. He didn't wilt under the bright lights. He didn't hesitate. From the first exchange, he tested Inoue with crisp counters and combinations designed to push the monster back. He threw with purpose, with venom. He wanted to make the Japanese hero uncomfortable, to make him doubt, to make him hesitate. But Inoue? He didn't blink. He studied. Calculated. He meticulously recorded his thoughts. Every feint. Every angle. Every opening Tapales dared expose. Inoue saw it all. Like a surgeon with X-ray vision, he dissected Tapales 1 inch at a time. He wasn't just throwing punches. He was programming the fight in real time. Every jab was a test. Every step is a setup. The monster wasn't hunting. He was alluring. By round 3, the tone had shifted. Tapales still pressed forward, but the smile was gone. He wasn't the same man who had marched into the arena with swagger and fire. Inoue's timing, his rhythm, and his speed, they were unnatural. He wasn't just reacting. He was living 1 second ahead of reality. T1 point. Tapales lunged forward with a hook, only for Inoue to vanish and reappear behind a thunderous counter, a right hand that buzzed through the arena like a shot from a rifle. Tapales staggered, just slightly. But it was enough. The monster had drawn first blood, not physically, but psychologically. The 4th and 5th rounds became a mental war. Tapales still fought bravely, bravely enough to make it a dogfight at times. But Inoue welcomed it. The more chaos Tapales created, the more composed Inoue became. He was breathing in the fire, growing stronger inside it. Then came round 6. T was the beginning of the end. Inoue, now fully in rhythm, began to turn his tools into weapons. The right hand, which had been sharp all fight, became lethal. He didn't just throw it, he injected it with bad intentions. Tapales, to his credit, took the shots and answered back with pride. But every trade favored the monster. Inoue's accuracy was unnatural. Every punch landed flush, every combination crisp. Tapales was no quitter, but the pressure was building like a volcano ready to explode. You could see it in his legs, in his breathing, and in the delay between his punches. The nightmare was fading, and the monster was coming alive, and round 7, Inoue's right hand became his weapon of choice. He threw it like a heat-seeking missile, finding Tapales' chin, temple, and ribs with brutal precision. The Japanese fans began to roar. They could sense the kill. Tapales was stumbling, unsteady on his feet. But still, he fought on. The man had a heart. He refused to fold. He absorbed hell and kept swinging. But Naoya Inoue was no longer just fighting Tapales. He was chasing immortality. He was writing his name in gold. WY round 9. It seemed like the fight might go the distance. Tapales, battered but defiant, continued to throw. And for a moment, you wondered, could he really survive? But Inoue had simply been waiting. He wasn't coasting. He was plotting, and the final seconds of the round, he released the left hook he'd been hiding all night. It came fast. It came fierce. It came from the darkness. Tapales didn't see it. And he paid the price. Dropped to the canvas, his legs barely responded. Saved by the bell, he stumbled back to his corner like a man searching for answers in a storm. The nightmare had turned into a daydream, and the monster was now wide awake. Round 10 came, and Inoue wasted no time. He opened up with 2 massive right hands, like sledgehammers crashing down on Tapales' defenses. The shots didn't even have to land cleanly. The sheer force, the sheer violence behind them, was enough to fold the Filipino's resolve. Tapales dropped to his knees, not because he quit, but because his body could no longer carry the weight of Inoue's power. The referee began the count. But there was no drama. No protest. Tapales looked up, eyes glassy, brain-fogged. He had no legs. No stability. Just heart, and even that was hanging by a thread. And then it was over. Naoya Inoue had done what only legends dream of. He had become the undisputed super bantamweight champion of the world. Just a year after cleaning out the bantamweight division, he now stood atop another Mountain Point 2 weight classes. 8 belts. One monster. But it wasn't just the belts he claimed that night. He took Tapales' nickname too. Baby Pacquiao, a title given to Tapales for his fearless aggression and knockout prowess, now belonged to Inoue. Because that night, the Filipino legend spirit was reborn in a man who had surpassed even his own mythos. Let's put this in perspective. Inoue became only the second male fighter in the 4-belt era to become undisputed in 2 weight classes, joining Terence Crawford, a man widely regarded as one of the greatest of his generation. 19 knockouts in 21 world title fights. A knockout rate of 90.4% in world title matches. These aren't just statistics. These are warning signs to every fighter who thinks they can outbox, outpunch, or outlast the monster. Marlon Tapales wasn't just another name. He came to win. He brought grit, stamina, and a warrior's soul. He gave Inoue trouble. He made him think. He made him work. But in the end, it wasn't enough. Tapales deserves every bit of respect. He stayed in the fire longer than most. He dared to fight a perfect storm with nothing but gloves and guts. And that alone makes him a champion in spirit. But there's a reason they call Naoya Inoue the monster. It's not just power. It's not just speed. It's the ability to adapt mid-fight. The mental toughness to stay calm in chaos. The ability to end a fight at any moment, on his own terms. Oh, where does this rank among Inoue's best performances? Was it as explosive as the Fulton fight? Maybe not. Was it a masterclass in control, patience, and precision? Absolutely. This fight showed us a different kind of monster. Not one who devours instantly, but one who hunts, breaks down, and finishes when it matters most. T was a coronation. A crowning. A conquest. Naoya Inoue doesn't just chase greatness. He redefines it. And if this is just the beginning of his reign at 122 pounds, the division better pray for mercy. Because the monster isn't done yet, he's just getting started. If this fight sent chills down your spine, let us know how you rank it in Inoue's legendary run so far. And if you haven't yet, subscribe now and step into the ring with us for more stories that hit harder than a left hook from the monster himself.